Hey, what's up, Shib fam? What's up, YouTube? We are back with another episode of Grandpa's Farm, episode 16. I'm going to go ahead and say we're 8 episodes away from the end. I think we'll do the same thing with Grandpa's Farm as we did the Struggle Farm. 24 seems to be a good number. We got a lot of stuff to do today. First, we have a lot of stuff to sell. We got to sell to make a little bit of money, because I think we're going to end up spending a lot. It's October 2nd. We've got to start getting ready for winter, and that means we've got to clean out any of our production that we have. So there's 2 pallets. I don't quite have enough for a 3rd pallet of firewood. We have like 8 pallets of lettuce over there from the greenhouse. I think we've got a couple pallets of eggs and a whole bunch of honey. But I gotta find, there it is. I've got to grab our international or our farm all so I can go put the forks on it. I believe I put the front end part under this little lean-to up here when we were finished picking rocks on last episode, which, by the way, we're not done. We've got some more rocks to pick up. I've got to finish that field out there, but first, I'm going to tell you about that field. It's not gonna stay that size forever. In fact, it's not gonna be that size after today. Well, for now, we're gonna take the rock picker off, the rock picking bucket, and we're gonna grab our pallet forks. I think we'll load our lettuce first, since that's where the truck is parked, and then we'll come up to the eggs, the honey. Oh no, the firewood. Forgot. Maybe we should load the firewood first, because that's going to be the most difficult. These pallets of firewood have always been a pain in the butt to load. On the Struggle Farm, many of you probably remember me picking these up with the Massey Ferguson skid steer with the forks on the front. It's even harder with this international setup on the front of our farm wall. I think I even tried a rear mount forklift at one time too, and that was way worse than this. All right, now that the firewood is loaded, we can start with our lettuce. I'm going to try to pick this up 2 at a time. I can't promise you it'll stay. You know what I wish they would do is, let's say, let me get at this straight. Let's say you could put a strap on these, right? Like you can the truck. If you could just strap your pallets to the forks, that way you never lose. Never lose the one. Oh, we got a mess. No, don't do that. Don't. You know what? We'll just push it. We'll push it back on. Okay. Like it never happened. So the 2 at a time thing hasn't been working. I've made a mess every single time. I've dumped the top pallet every single time I've done it. So it's taken a little longer, but that's okay. It is what it is. I don't think we're gonna have enough room for eggs and honey. The truck is really filled up right now. I guess I probably could have fit. Yeah, I probably could have fit these. I probably could have fit these pallets 3 wide, but oh well. 3, 6, 9, 10. So I lied. I said 8 pallets. We've got 10 pallets of lettuce. Good deal. It took us all year to get to that, but I should have brought the truck a little bit closer, but These eggs, the egg pallets are staying together, double stacked, way better than the lettuce did. Look at that. I wouldn't have been able to whip it around like that with lettuce. All right, I believe that's the sell point for our firewood right here. If I remember right, I had to take it off the truck. Oh, no, it's going to take it. All right, cool. That's another, what do we got here? Give me the money, show me the money. Oh my goodness. Hey, that's another 7,732 bucks. Not a bad way to start the day. Not a bad way to start this episode of Grandpa's Farm. Well, let me pull this up here and, you know what? I might have to park it. I guess it really doesn't matter where we park it. Because I'm still going to have to walk back and grab the forks. Oh, stop rolling, stop rolling, stop rolling. Well, let's get the honey loaded because if we're going to get everything on the list that we need to get done today or should get done today, we've got to get started super soon. Super soon? That doesn't sound right at all. Super soon. We've got one more pallet, but it's not full, so I'm going to load that one by hand, and for now, we're just going to put this whole setup under this little lean-to looking thing. Very, very homemade looking. There we go. I am going to need the tractor, so we're going to leave that out. I've got to go over and get a mulcher, and I promise I'm going to explain to you what I meant earlier about this field. That's not going to be the same size as it is right now, and I'll explain why as soon as I finish messing around with this silly half a pallet here. There we go. Honey's all loaded. Let's get it strapped in, and let me go explain to you guys what exactly we're doing. So if you remember a couple of episodes ago, we harvested this field and used all the corn on it for Grandpa's secret still, which is still not even close to ready. So we're going to extend this field a little bit further. That's right. We're going to make a bigger field. Kind of, you know, you already know. This is what we do. This is what we do on the Shib stream. And so we're going to probably extend it to right about here. But what I'm going to do is, I really don't feel like mowing grass again because we just did it. And I think plowing the grass this high is a little unrealistic. So we're going to mulch all this grass down. And we have a mulcher over at the shop. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to mulch out, and basically mulching it will help me get the shape down, and then we'll plow it. And then we've got to spread lime. I'm thinking I'm going to spread lime on the whole thing, because if I don't, we're going to have half the field on a different lime cycle than the rest of it. I don't know if that's going to change our pH on one side, more than likely, but we're not using precision farming anyways, so it's not really something I'm worried about. But I figure if we get it all plowed and limed, maybe fertilized with some manure, then we'll be steps ahead of where we need to be when we go to plant it, whatever month we can start planting corn in. And that way we can free up this field for something else. Which, if you remember, on the last episode, we picked up the stones on that. So all that field needs right now is some manure. And that one will be ready to start planting in the spring. Another 5,232 bucks. We did pretty good. Now, I think that's the last of the money we're probably going to make today. and more than likely to be the last bit of money we make until next harvest season. But we're in a position where if we can hold on to some of this money, I think come spring, right after planting season, I think it's time to buy ourselves some dairy cows. So we're gonna put the flatbed away. I just hit that pole. We're gonna put the flatbed away, grab the bigger of the farm-alls, and I want to go grab that mulcher. We're gonna mulch the grass down. Like I said, I know this probably isn't the right way to do it, but I'm thinking, A, it'll help me lay out where I need to plow because I'm not using GPS on this farm, and I don't know, if you plow that much grass, I would assume when the grass is that long, I would assume realistically, you know, it's not going to look like our plow texture that we get on FS22. So before we do anything else, let's go grab the mulcher that I left over at the main shop. All right, there is the International Harvester mulcher that we used to mulch the corn stalk before we plowed. Now we're going to use it to mulch down the grass. A, like I said, it'll give me an idea of where I need to plow. And B, I don't think you would plow under grass as high as it is on that section of the farm. So I'm going to start on this side, and hopefully I can use the road as a reference point, and I'd like to go up as far as the silage pit. That's what I'd like to do. I think this is going to work. I've never tried to mulch grass by itself before, and it is working. All right, so by mulching it, like I said, I could have mowed it. We could have tethered it. We did a lot of that on the last episode, so I don't really feel like doing it again. But this way I feel like it's a little bit more realistic instead of plowing grass. That's all. So I want to go right to there. This part shouldn't take long at all. I got a feeling the plowing, well, let's be honest, picking rocks is probably going to be the most, that's what's going to take the most time. But, man, next harvest season, it'll be well worth it. Like I said, it did not take long at all. I kind of thought this was going to go by pretty quickly, and then we could go and switch out with the plow and get all of this finished up, and hopefully we get to a point where we can start spreading some lime today. Like I said, I know this part, the part we're on right now, I know that had lime last year, but I really don't like having half a field on one cycle, half the field on the other, so we're just going to go through and do the whole thing all together. And you know, the field that's straight in front of us, I think it might be worth it to get that done today too. All that's left is to spread some manure, and then the two fields, the one out by the trees ahead of us and the one that you can see, the other farm mall, those got to be cultivated. Now here's the thing, we don't have a cultivator, we have a plow, but I do have access to another very old school International Harvester cultivator. So I think we might do some shopping, spend a little of that money that we made this morning, burning a hole in the old pocket, the old overall pocket. So I brought the mulcher back, and while we're over here, we're gonna grab our manure spreading trailer. I think it's full, but if not, It is not full, so we'll fill it up the rest of the way. All right, so I'm going to bring this with us. We're not going to do this part right now. We're going to go grab the plow and increase the size of our cornfield. So my plans with that field are, we'll have half the field we'll use for Grandpa's still, and half the field we'll sell. Make a little extra money. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering, what the heck is going on with Grandpa's secret still? Well, it still hasn't produced us 1,000 liters. The only time it'll spawn a pallet is when you hit 1,000 liters. It is a very, very slow process. I'm not quite sure why it takes so long. But when it does, I am 100% certain it'll be well worth the wait. Especially when it comes to all that money. Would you believe the plow is exactly where I left it? This is the one thing I haven't really had to search for. I knew it was here. I had a feeling. So I'm going to start the plowing process down here so I can kind of get an idea of where I need to be, because I'm not using any type of GPS. Grandpa never believed in it, and therefore, I probably shouldn't either. Although I do believe in it. I believe in any gadget that makes a farmer's life a little bit easier than it is. All right, so we got to make sure that our field creator is on, and we got to make sure we're straight. There we go. If we go outside the lines a little, I will paint to square it up. But so far, it looks good. Not bad. I haven't veered left or right. If we look back, I bet you this line is super, super straight. I'm going to go all the way down. We're going to make it even with this right there. Moment of truth. That looks about as straight can be. Now, are we going to be able to do the same thing on the other side, because I don't have a road reference? Well, I don't think this is going to happen twice. I am going to try my hardest, but I don't see this happening. All right, well, it's lined up. We'll see. Keep your... I'm already outside the lines. I already see it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, that looks awful. Look at how that looks terrible. So what we're going to do is I'm going to paint it up, fix it up, and then I will show you guys the result. There. All straightened up. Now we've just got to put our end on here. We can go east to west, or north to south, south to... I don't know my directions. The hard part is over. The outline is always the hardest. Just trying to make it all straight, getting it all, making sure it looks nice and neat. But once you get that done, it's just back and forth as quickly as we can get it done. However, I should say quickly as quickly as this old farm wall will let us get it done. See, we're already half done. It took us longer to do the outside of it than it is to get the whole thing done. Does anybody remember the day that we switched out the silos on on the Struggle Farm? And I was kind of excited about that moment. I want to do the same thing here. For some reason, I am having a terrible time trying to get that silo to take anything But I think it might have something to do with the truck as well. I don't know. But I think that'll be our next big purchase. We'll switch over the silo system. Maybe we should bring Grandpa's farm into the current century. And maybe start looking around for something with a dryer. If we can start taking the moisture out of some of the grain and the corn, our prices per liter will increase as long as we can find the right sell point. All done. That is going to be one amazing looking cornfield. I like it. It's long, it's bigger than what it is, but it's not too big where our smaller harvester and smaller header is going to struggle to get it done. So, very, very happy with the way that turned out. However, I'm not happy about the next part. Picking up stones, field stones, was a lot of fun the last time, but now that we have a much bigger field, I don't think I want to use the same. I don't think I want to use the same one. But Grandpa was a big believer in using what you have on hand, so we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna suck it up and get it done. And I think a part of the reason why I want to use what's on hand and you know, use Grandpa's advice to use the tools that you got. I want to try to keep as much of that $51,397 that we have, because I really would like to pick up some dairy cows. I would say right after the planting season. Whatever we have left after the planting season. You know, whatever we have left after seeds and all that, let's invest it into the dairy cows. I think that is, we don't have to start with many, you know, 5, 10. See how much money we have after the winter and after the planting season. All right, we're picking up rocks. So far, we got 11 liters. Oh, this thing is flying. I don't think it should be. I'm going to set the cruise control at 8, although it says we're doing 9, and that shouldn't take us long at all. We should be able to get this done fairly quickly. And then we'll move on to spread some lime, and all that's left is manure and waiting seed during the planting season. So I'm going to say that this field, including the new half, is very early on in its fieldstone cycle. And I believe that cycle is not set on anything realistic. I believe it's just something that Giants built into Farm Sim 22. Early on, there's smaller stones, very little, and as you get through the cycles, those stones get bigger and bigger and easier to see, and they take up more space. We've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 passes, and we have 86 liters in the bucket. Not bad, but not good, I guess, if we want to sell them and make money. We're a little over half done with the field stones. And we still don't have a half a bucket full of stones. So I think we're going to be able to do this whole thing without dumping. Which is really strange, because I think I dumped 3 times on the field that we did last week, which is the one way behind us. So that is really interesting. Not to mention the stones last week, they appeared much bigger. They were easier to see. Even when I watched the video back, they were easier to see, and they took up way more space. So, like I said, there are different cycles to field stones on FS22. We're on our last pass, and fieldstones have been picked, and it's not even 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the farm, so we still have a bunch of daylight and a bunch of stuff left that we're going to be able to get done. I think once we go sell this, I'm going to, instead of dumping this into the truck, since we live so close to the main shop in town where we sell everything, I'm just going to drive the bucket over there. And while we're at it, I'm going to get some repairs done to our vehicle because look at our orange mark. That symbol over there, the wrench. We're in dire need of repairs. Well, we made 46 bucks, you know, not bad for some stones. Covered in dirt. Not bad. I'm going to put this guy, in here, and that's where we can leave it for now. And I'm going to go grab the other Farmall because I think the lime spreader needs very little horsepower. Oop. I didn't mean to stall it. I stalled it. I meant to go hook this up to the manure spreader. That's what I meant to do. Now, I typically don't do this. I typically don't hire somebody, but I'm going to. We're going to hire somebody to spread manure on this field, and we're going to go grab the other Farmall and hook on to the spreader, the lime spreader. Lime and solid fertilizer spreader. I forgot to hit the record button. We have made our first pass and about half our second for lime. Again, I know we did that half last time, but I don't want each half to be on a different cycle than the other. So we're just, everything that we do to the new side, we're gonna do to the old side. That includes fertilizer, and you know what? We didn't even step on this side. I know the sides need lime, and it's fertilized 0%. I thought when you plowed grass, maybe it's because we mulched it first, that it was act as fertilizer. Can't be. Well, if this was a race, we'd be winning. I mean, our AI, our hired workers, not covering a lot of ground. But in his defense, you can go a little bit faster when you're spreading lime than when you're spreading manure. Although he does have a much larger tractor than we do as far as horsepower goes. This thing is tiny. But it's super cool, man. This is like one of my favorite tractors. As far as like in the mod hub, absolutely one of my favorite tractors. I think we've got a pass and a half left and we are finished with lime, and as soon as our hired helper is done, we'll grab his tractor, we'll go get some more manure, and we'll get this field ready. Then we'll have two done. We'll have the field he's on, that's ready for seed, and this field ready for seed. And we've got to get a cultivator, but I don't know if we'll have time for that today. I lied. We've got a couple spots. I've got to lay down some live, and then we're finished. I think I missed a spot down at this end. I don't know, 4 rows over maybe. And then this part of it be finished. Put a fork in it. It's done. It looks like he's got a couple more passes over there, so we're gonna go get our spreader cleaned up, get it put away for the year, because everything else every other field got lime last year, so we're probably after the next harvest, something like that. Well, the good news is I was able to finish spreading lime on my field. Our hired worker was able to finish spreading manure on this field. But the bad news is we're out of time. But we got a lot done. We really did. This field completely ready. That field needs some manure. We've got to cultivate a couple of fields and spread some manure. So we got a lot done. We really did. But, man, we got so much more to do. And we'll probably do what we did the last time. Once we get the planting season done, we'll just kind of skip through. So we get straight to the harvest, straight to the fun stuff. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I really, really do. And I was so excited to get back on Grandpa's farm, I forgot to do this at the beginning. If you haven't hit the thumbs up on the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up. It does so much for these videos on our YouTube channel. It lets YouTube know that you think we're doing a good job. It lets me know that you like the content and want to see more of it. And if you haven't hit the sub button yet, join us. Join this growing Shib Fam community. Join us on our journey. Today, that journey brought us back to Grandpa's Farm, episode 16. Can't wait for the next one, which is when I will see you next. I hope y'all had a fantastic day. Hope to see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, look after one another, be kind to yourself. You deserve it. Much love, everybody. Peace.